Hey everyone, it's Brian here again from Massey's Main Entertainment, and I'm back with our continuing series of building that perfect album. We are still in, this is part two of 1971. So we're doing those last 12 songs to kind of finish off our album here. It's kind of a neat series we've had. We started at 1965. When we hit 1969, we started doing double albums because we definitely thought that 69, 70, and this particular year merited having a double album because there's so much good music for sure. Joined today by Rich. Rich has his own channel. I'll put a link down below where he talks about sports and movies and music. He talks about a whole lot of stuff. So a lot of good knowledge going on there. Definitely check him out. I got Doc down below me here. I'm going Brady Bunch style if you look at the little corners here. Just a real quick recap, because we do a lot of these videos when I usually try to put the rules in here anyway. Since it's a double album, you can pick two songs from any particular album. You can pick singles that were released on their own that charted in this particular year. You can pick album cuts as long as the album is charting in that particular year. And also you can, if an artist released two albums in the same year, you can pick additional songs from that album as well. So I thought our first albums, guys, were absolutely banging. I mean, especially our side ones. All three of our side ones on that first album for volume one were great. What do you think? Yeah,
I agree. We came out firing. We came out with all the bangers early and setting the tone for 71. So there's more to come.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
All right, Doc, you have a lot to live up to now. You had this great first LP now. Let's make sure there's no filler in this now. You got to come out. You got to come out swinging, buddy. What do you got?
I'll give him my best shot here. I'll try to make sure there's no filler, man. That's 71. I hope there's no filler, but I'm trying to make sure there's no filler. So, the collage size. Here we go. This is my side C. So we'll jump right in. So, talking off camera there really quickly there. My love for the Who, and I didn't want to leave something off, but it's just the way it works. Bob O'Reilly's going to start my side C, man.
Trifecta.
Yes.
It's could have started my first album. It sure could have, man. Bob O'Reilly is a classic rock song again from the Who. I had Won't Get Fooled Again ending on my side A. They're both making my list here in 71. Like I said, I could have had the whole album, but a lot of people could have. Pete Townsend, man, I don't think he gets enough credit, maybe even for his vocals and everything else. He gets overlooked in some senses. The Who's an iconic band, but they don't get talked about in that realm a lot, or maybe as much as they should. I don't think, in my opinion. Townsend's a genius, I think, and got a great voice, man. Plays a pretty slick guitar too. So, Bob O'Reilly, it's a classic rock and roll tune, man. To jump in on side C. Go right back to that number 4 from Zepp, man. When the Levee Breaks is my follow-up to this one too. So, yeah, trying to keep up with it here, man. So, but this has a different vibe. So I'm not going to lie to you. So this has a different vibe this side, but we got a couple hitters in here to at least keep it going. When the Levee Breaks, this is Zeppelin 4, man. Mm-hmm. Could have had 5 songs off of here too, man. Easy. Could have Mountain Hot, man. I could have done a whole bunch of Misty stuff. I could have done one California. I could have done whatever,
Yeah.
So, there's loads of tunes on here, and anyone would fit the bill for 71, I think. But When the Levee is just that groovy tune, man. Just a bluesy, groovy rock and roll tune, man. And that's everything in that song, I think, right there. I followed up with one that Rich has from earlier. So, yeah, I'm going to say maybe my favorite as well, too, Rich. It's Roundabout from Yes to follow up that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Roundabout, it's got really catchy. It's John Anderson's an acquired taste at some points with his voice and stuff like that. But if you're into it, man, that guy can sing. The band is talented as hell. I mean, it's progressive and everything else, and leads to my Rush love later on in life. But you understand why these guys love them, because these guys are just brilliant, and these guys can play anything, man.
Yep.
The ultimate jam session in this tune too, man. Freaking, they just all go when they get their spots to kick it in this. That's Roundabout's a classic tune, man. I'm gonna follow that up, man, with the Low Spark of the High Heeled Boys, man. I could not leave this off.
Traffic.
What can I say, man? Pardon me?
Traffic.
Traffic, yeah. You know, and Stevie here, man, it's so I kind of kept the jam session together, man. So I did the jam session with Roundabout in one sense, and here comes another jam session with Traffic and this iconic tune, man. It's this is the way music was supposed to be written at some time. I go back to this song. If you're gonna write music, man, write it like this, man. Freaking this is fantastic classic rock, and everything's in this song. It's a fantastic tune. It was making my list, man. No matter one of the early ones I wrote for 71. So where I put it on the album, like I said, the collage happens, but you know, it's making my list. Number 4. So that's one 4. No. Number 5, I guess now, right? So
yep.
I had to go back to Elton too myself. So I'm jumping in with Levon on this side.
Love it.
Okay.
I like Elton John a lot, man. So I could have had Madman Across the Water, man. It's freaking what a classic album, man. And this is Elton in the early 70s, and I think you said it earlier, Brian. Elton pumping out an album here in the 70s or something like that, man. You got to think hard to keep him off your list, I think, in one sense. So, Levon, always been one of my favorite Elton songs. I have a lot of favorites, and this one, you know, your song previous, and we'll see how things move along, but I love that tune, man. And it's got great build up in that one too, man. So, and Elton sounds fantastic. And it kind of ends on a different note for this side. So I'm going to end with One of These Days by Floyd. So going out on a real psychedelic vibe here, man. But this is the other side of Floyd from Fearless. If you were to listen to Fearless and say, all right, yeah, I can see why Doc was talking about that. This is the other side of Floyd. This is Floyd too, right? And when the words in the song are, you know, one of these days I'm going to cut you into little pieces right in the middle of it and stuff like this, but everything else is just instrumental and you're just grooving to the whole thing, man. Kind of a masterpiece, especially at this time for this kind of music, man. It's Floyd's love-hate or something maybe at this time, but if you love it, you really love it. And I really love it. So that's ending my side.
Nice.
Right on.
You're right. It is a little bit all over the place, but there's like 4 tracks there where I'm like 100% Doc.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
I've got 2 of yours from this side. So
oh really?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
right on.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I was wondering whether Traffic was going to make the cut for you or not. I wasn't 100% sure. I know you were really big on that album because that was one of the albums you recommended to me very early on in my album journey. You recommended that album to me.
Yeah, that's right. Good memory. Good one.
I was glad to see Roundabout. I need that yes support. That was very good. Classic stuff. And Levon's a great song. It was either Levon or Tiny Dancer for me. I didn't want to use both. I wanted to spread it out, but Levon's on my honorable mentions. I love that song as well.
Cool.
Very nice. And, you know, you didn't have it, but you mentioned Misty Mountain Hop. That's another Led Zeppelin song I really like.
Yeah.
That whole vibe. You know.
A great tune, man.
It bounces around. It's a cool song.
And I like my sheet of paper has like 3 or 4 Zeppelin tunes on it.
Oh my God. Between Led Zeppelin 4 and Who's Next, we could have just summed it up with those 2 albums. I mean, those are the best albums of the year for sure, in my opinion, anyway.
I agree.
Great job.
Thank you.
Okay.
Guess we'll go jump right into the final side of Doc's albums of 71. Here we go.
Down the home stretch, man. What do you got?
Well, I do believe it is one of the songs to start off my side. I've always wondered, does it have the most lyrics in the history of a song? So yeah, it's American Pie. So we can start off right there. Starts my side as well.
I like how you started at the side because I started the side with it too. Very cool.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. And to be honest with you, if I would have won Crazy and did singles and stuff like that, it probably would have been Behind Blue Eyes. I started this side with, but I kept it to the 2 Who's. So, like I said, but American Pie, it's a classic, iconic song. You're right, Rich, and I think you guys both touched on it. And you can't go wrong, man. You know, the day the music died, from there on in, the Whiskey and Rye, and we can all sing it. And like Brian said before, if you don't know the words of the song, you definitely know the chorus. So,
absolutely.
You can't get around that part.
Yep.
I'm following that up. I took liberties anyway, Rich, so I really don't care. I followed it up with Tiny Dancer.
Good for you. I have no objection. I love it. Awesome.
Yeah, I am. You know, some I'm taking two with me off some albums, buddy, and I'm not. I can't apologize for it. I just do it because it's got to come with me because that's what I want. So, Tiny Dancer. It's my album in '71, brother. I'm doing it, man. So as much as I want to represent some other things, and I like a lot of other songs that could have been on my list, these are my top 24, I think. So that's what I'm going with.
That's right.
And Tiny Dancer's classic, you know, and you guys touched on, you know, we all love Almost Famous. And yeah, I'm pumping them out, man. And another one's going to make it for me. So I got them on this side, on both A and B on this side. So,
yep.
You know my love for Neil Diamond, don't you? So here it comes again, man. I can't help it. It's I Am, I said. I think this will dwindle quickly as we move along now, but a very poetic, it's an awesome song from Neil. And it's this side fits this kind of song. And I Am, I said, it's just a poetic kind of, one sense to me, it's almost Master P-ish from Neil on how he's actually presenting a tune. So
yeah,
to be honest with you, it was an early write down for me as well from 71 when I did this. So this one it's not going to shock Brian in one sense, but it might shock him because it's actually here, because why the hell would he do this twice? But I did, and I couldn't help myself again. So, but it is Desperado from Alice Cooper. Alice has a lot of sides to him, and you know, the Killer album is kind of it's a pretty damn good album, man. There's no getting around that. So he's got some really good songs off this one, but this is a different you know, this isn't, you know, this isn't the showman act of Alice Cooper. This is a talented side of, you know, and he's a talented dude anyway, but outside everything else. And it shows, like in a song like this, that this guy can write and sing some songs, man. And this one's a really good one for me. So makes my list, man.
Awesome.
Gonna follow that up with the Stampeders, man. Sweet City Woman.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
That's a good hidden track, a one-hit wonder kind of masterpiece.
Yeah.
I love it. That banjo and stuff, great.
Yeah, it's got the Americana vibe and stuff like that goes with it, and really catchy tune too. You know, you can almost picture a whole bunch of other artists singing this tune, but I find that with possibly one song that might be mentioned later on, but I have a feeling. But outside that, it's just a catchy, really catchy, good vibe tune, and not ending my side on that, but getting damn close. And I think it's a really good song to throw on this album. So, but I will end it with "Imagine" from Lennon.
There you go.
On my album.
There we go.
So, can't go wrong with that one, I don't think, boys. And like I said, it's the little softer and slower side, but I think it runs pretty good for me and what Doc is in 71 on this side.
It was good. I like how you had "Imagine" at the end there. Nice.
Yeah,
Sweet
thanks.
City Woman. Sweet City Woman's a great one. I overlooked it somehow, but I love the song. And the other one was I Am, I Said, which I remember having that on a 45 as a kid. I love that song, but I've gotten away from Neil over the years, but I do look back at that song very fondly.
I think I got to go listen to Sweet. Is it Sweet
Oh, it's
City,
good.
City Woman?
Sweet
I've
City
got-
Woman.
I don't know it by name. See, it may be another situation where I don't know it by name, but I listen to it and I go, "Oh yeah, okay."
The Stampeders.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Are they
I'll have
from
to-
Calgary? Are they from Canada?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Very good, Rich.
Yeah. Very good stuff.
I would sing it for you. But this is actually going to go out in YouTube land, so I don't know if I'm going to do that, brother. So.
I might be able to. You might be able to sing that one, but if you'd have done "I Am," I Said, I'm out.
To no one there.
And I can. Yeah.
The thing that stands out about Sweet City Woman is that banjo that runs through the song. It's really cool, and it's
very
different
cool.
It's different for 1971 pop rock music. You know what I mean? But it works.
I'd
Check
check
out
it
the
out.
word "sweet" in your head. That's what I can
Well,
tell
yeah,
you.
well, you're going to be sending me the list of your stuff anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's right. That's right.
I'll definitely check it out after I get the list from you guys.
Cool.
So, awesome. All right, we're doing well on the trifecta so far, fellas. Rich, let's add to that. What do you got?
I don't know if I can, but we'll see what we got. I got 3 right out of the chute that have already been mentioned. I'm going to lead off with "What's Going On" by Marvin Gaye. I know Brian had it earlier. What a relevant song for 71 or really any other year. They're protesting the war, and you got the crime and the poverty, the inner city issues, police brutality, and that whole urban experience. It's like watching Superfly or Shaft or any of those movies at that era. I mean, this is the musical version of that. Picket signs, picket lines, don't punish me with brutality. Come on, talk to me so you can see what's going on. A beautiful album and a great title track. So that's kicking off side C. Next is Me and Bobby Mcgee, another one that was mentioned earlier. I prefer the Janis Joplin version over the Chris Christopherson version, but this was recorded a month before Joplin died. They released it posthumously, became a big hit, kind of a rousing blues rock classic, just putting everything she has into that song. Interesting. And I had to put it on here because I avoided Janis all the way through our 60s. This is the only time I'm probably going to have her on any of my lists. Third song is another one that was mentioned, "Day After Day" by Badfinger. One of my favorite power pop songs of all time. You're right, it does have that Beatlesque sound. In fact, George Harrison's playing the slide guitar on this as a sideman.
Oh.
So there you go. Leon Russell's also playing piano. So they brought in some heavy hitters. What a great album this is, straight up. Produced in part by Todd Rundgren. So a lot of people contributed to that album and that song, Day After Day, and it's a favorite. So we go from that kind of mellow pop song into a hard rocker here, "Walk Away" by the James Gang. This is a hard rock, funky, Joe Walsh killing it on guitar.
Totally.
Turn your pretty head and walk away. It's about the end of a relationship, and he still plays this song in concert with the Eagles now. It's like a throw in. They give you all these Eagles songs, and here comes Joe, jamming on that guitar, and it really it adds a little heaviness to the concert. Big Joe Walsh fan. Then we're going to go into some glam rock. TRex, "Bang a Gong" from the Electric Warrior album. This was a huge song when it came out. Mark Bolan, the front man, he looked like a rock star up there on the stage. Good looking with the shag haircut. And I remember seeing this as a kid on Don Kirshner's rock concert on the weekends. They used to have these late night concert shows, and "Bang a Gong" was one that stuck in my mind. I wasn't aware of it until I saw it on that show. Another guy that died a tragic death. He died in a car crash 2 weeks prior to his 30th birthday. So he might have gone on and had even a more impressive career. And then I'm going to end my side 3 here, or side C, with The Doors, little mellow "Riders on the Storm," the little piano action. I love this. Always loved this song. Ray Manzarek with that cool piano almost in the cocktail lounge. How he's doing that piano thing, and the dark lyrics by Morrison, kind of ominous. "There's a killer on the road. His brain is squirming like a toad. If you give this man a ride, sweet family will die. Killer on the road." And it's got that beautiful music with the dark lyrics. So I like that contrast there for "Riders on the Storm." And "LA Woman's" a great album. Brian mentioned "The Changeling." It's got "Love Her Madly" as well. But I picked out "Riders on the Storm" to end that side.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's awesome. As you know, I mean, we both got something from "LA Woman." There was another one. What was your 5th song again, Rich?
"Bang a Gong."
Hang on.
T-Rex.
That'll make an appearance on mine too as well. I mean, on one of mine. So, yeah, that's a great glam rock selection right there.
Sure, it is
something that's going to typify glam rock. That's going to be it right there. So
yeah, I wanted to. That's a collage album because you got the R&B with Marvin Gaye, the Janis kind of bluesy stuff, the power pop with Badfinger, the jam with Walk Away, Glam Rock, and then Riders of the Storm is just a one of a kind song from the Doors. They really didn't do anything else that sounded like that I can remember anyway. But cool.
Very cool. Yeah, you got to cover all the bases there, Rich. You did good there, buddy.
Thank
We all got the collage going on side C right now.
Yeah, that would be no different when I get there too. Trust me.
And what I did on side D here, it's basically leftovers, personal songs, singer-songwriter for the most part that I didn't want to leave off the album, so I threw them on here. I don't know if it has any kind of flow, but for me it does. I could listen to all these songs back to back and be happy. I'm going to lead it off with David Bowie, Changes from Hunky Dory. Bowie was such a unique talent. He had his own kind of niche in rock, changed it up, a chameleon. Every album's different. Every look is different. The hairstyle, the clothes, he just mixed it up, kept you guessing. You got Mick Ronson on guitar, Rick Wakeman of Yes on piano. Bowie's actually playing the sax at the very end of the song. I didn't even know he played sax, but he plays the saxophone at the end of this. Great song, Changes. Time may change me, but I can't trace time. Then I'm going to go with a song that you guys had, I think in 70, came out as a single in 71. It went to number 5 in the US, and that's If You Could Read My Mind by Gordon Lightfoot. I love this song. I'm glad you guys both had it. Very heartfelt, personal lyrics, part of the singer-songwriter movement here, Canadian style. It's like, I guess a divorce song almost. I never thought I could act this way, and I just got to say that I don't get it. I don't know where we went wrong, but the feeling's gone, and I just can't get it back. Real intense kind of lyrics there, man, and they work. Beautiful song. Then I'm going to go to Van the Man Morrison, title track of Tupelo Honey. Little country-ish album, soulful Van Morrison lyrics or voice. Kind of mellow in the beginning. It builds in intensity. He's talking about how happy he is in his relationship, kind of a domestic bliss kind of situation, and talking about you can take all the tea in China and put it in a big brown bag for me, sail it right around the 7 oceans, drop it smack dab in the middle of the deep blue sea. She's as sweet as Tupelo honey. She's an angel of the first degree. Just like honey, baby, from the bee. I just love Van Morrison, and I wanted to get a song in here for him. One of my favorites of his. And I'm going to flow it from Van right into Joni Mitchell off the Blue album, A Case of You. Another one of these beautifully written, honest, straight from the heart, tell the truth, no holds barred kind of songs. The lyrics, it's like an intoxicating love song. You're in my blood like holy wine. You taste so bitter and so sweet. I could drink a case of you and I'd still be on my feet. Great, great lyrics, great song. Then I'm going to continue on with some Cat Stevens off Teaser and the Firecat. Uplifting or spiritual song called Moonshadow. Moonshadow. Very optimistic. He's seeing the glass half full. If I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry, if I ever lose my eyes, I won't have to cry no more. He's talking about losing his land, his legs, his mouth, all these different things, and turning it into a positive. He's asking the faithful light, kind of a spiritual thing. I enjoy the song. I could have went with Peace Train. I could have went Morning is Broken, but I went with Moonshadow. And then I'm going to end the side with a favorite of Brian's, Miss Carole King. It's Too Late off of Tapestry.
It's Tapestry.
Soft rock ballad, another one of these breakup songs. Matter of fact, stayed in bed all morning just to pass the time. There's something wrong here. There can be no denying. One of us is changing, or maybe we just stopped trying. It's too late, baby. It's too late that we really tried to make it. Something inside has died, and I don't think I can fake it. So I like these kind of heartbreaking singer-songwriter tunes that are well written and people writing from personal experience. They matter to me, and that's why I included a lot of these in my my album.
I think she writes beautiful songs, and I got to tell you, some of the artists who've performed her some songs that she's written, they're just fantastic. I've just never been a fan of her, but her songwriting is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
You know, I know that she, you know, wrote songs for Carly Simon and James Taylor, and you know, a lot of people of that particular yoke anyway. And so she's talented. The one that surprises me the most, one that I'm glad you mentioned her. She didn't make my cut, was Joni Mitchell's "Case of You." Thank you for doing that. The Tupelo Honey kind of surprised me. I know you're a fan of Van Morrison, but I didn't know you were a fan of that album. But you know,
I am.
Particular. Okay, because not a lot of people pick tracks off of that album. They don't really go.
Yeah, it's underrated.
Yeah. I think that that's really kind of surprised me there. So
very good.
Not surprised on the Van Morrison. I'll say that for sure. That's you can see that coming. I think in one sense too. But you know, you got a Rain Dance, or you could have had something on there. What was the previous one you had?
Bowie, Lightfoot.
Gordon Lightfoot.
That actually gives us a trifecta by proxy.
Yeah,
you know,
good call.
Yeah, we had it last time, so Doc. So that adds on. That gives us another trifecta there. So,
what else did you have? Oh, before you had Riders on the Storm. You know, I'm not a big Doors guy either, but I really do like that too. And I had that one down on my list originally, and that was towards the end before I got cut. But that's a great tune, man.
And I love Cat Stevens. I know I had him in '70 with Father and Son. I wanted to put something from him. Teaser and the Firecat, which is my favorite album of his, and I stuck Moonshadow on there, which I like.
Yeah, great album, buddy. See, we're covering all the bases, man.
That's what it's about. 71, man. It's all there.
71. Can't go wrong.
No. All right, wrap it up, Brian. What do you got for us, man?
Okay, so for my hodgepodge side C, I kicked it off with a song that Doc's already mentioned, is "One of These Days" by Pink Floyd from Metal. Wow. I love the song. It's almost entirely music, a nice slow build, but it is so Floydish. You know, when you listen to the track, there is no doubt in your mind who this track is about. I mean, who performs it actually. Right. So I wanted a track from this album because I actually like the album as a whole. But this one seems to be the best fit, and to be able to lead off with this particular track. It is just an all instrumental pretty much. So I went right from there to "When the Levee Breaks" by Led Zeppelin. So I don't not a great transition there.
Good one.
But you know, absolutely one of my favorite drum performances of all time. Obviously, I know they had him perform in a lobby, I believe, and one landing down, and they had microphones hanging over the stair casings and stuff to make it sound like there was this distance effect in his drumming, and make it sound a little grittier. And it's fantastic. That's my favorite song.
Awesome.
Is "When the Levee Breaks." So what a banger of an album. There's no filler on that album at all.
Zero.
So there's no way. Going up for number 3, Rich has already mentioned it. It's the glam rock song "Bang a Gong, Get It On." I had to have a song by them on there. I've listened to 2 of their albums. I think they're fantastic. When you talk about the glam rock era, you typically will think of this band, or Bowie will come to mind almost exclusively first in your mind. But this nice, unique blend of that glam rock mixed with this good old rock and roll, and I think it deserves to be here. Number 4 for me is a song that I like to call the poor man's Mrs. Robinson, and that's Maggie May. You know, I always I love Rod Stewart's voice in this. Just the lyrics, you know, basically talking about, you know, basically he's just having an affair with an older woman, and that he's basically, you know, using him as a young man for whatever she wants to use him for. And most young men aren't very opposed to those types of things. So that's why I call it the poor man's Maggie May. You know, it has a little bit of a grittier sound, a little bit more of a rocking sound. A little side note here. My boss hates this song so bad that I tease her every year. I have like a prank in which I make her listen to the song. One time I changed the opening music to her computer rebooting to Maggie May. And one time I hit a speaker in our shop and played Maggie May downstairs on Spotify in a loop over and over again. I do stuff like that. So,
fantastic.
I love the song, so it doesn't bother me at all. So
trifecta again. Yep.
Trifecta.
Number five, Rich. I think Rich has already mentioned it on his first album. Is Jethro Tull's "Locomotive Breath"
Yes.
from Aqualung. Great album all the way around. I think anybody who can use a flute in a rock and roll song has got my vote. Right next to cowbell. Right, it's the least used obscure instrument in a rock song. Great tune though. I love it. I had to throw it in here. I know it's a little bit more of a progressive song. That's why it's kind of a hodgepodge side for me here. But ending it off, I've got Cat Stevens, a real small short track, actually, "The Wind."
Yeah,
Cat Stevens. I think it's a beautiful song. I mean, it's only about a minute and 50 seconds to 2 minutes long. Not very long, but an absolutely powerful song. And I figured that would be a nice, easy song to end that side with. So that's my side C.
Look at that! Look at that side there.
I
You went
know.
starting
it is a
Floyd,
hodgepodge.
Zeppelin, ending on Cat Stevens, man. You had it all covered, brother.
I like "The Wind" too. It's a beautiful song. I love the fact you had Rod in there and TRex.
Yeah.
What was the fifth song?
I had "Locomotive Breath."
Locomotive
Yeah.
Breath.
Yeah.
Come on, that's a classic. That's a hard rocker. I love that song. The flute. You're right. If you bring the flute, that's props to you, man. You got to
big props to you, man. You brought a flute to a rock and roll concert.
It's a great, for a hodgepodge side. I really liked it, Brian, because we got three of the same, buddy. So
I just couldn't find a good place to squeeze them in. So
sure,
that's my side C. Side D went with this one's kind of starts a little high and kind of like this levels off at the end. I started off though with the title track from "L.A. Woman," my favorite Doors album. This is "Riders of the Storm" was a runner-up for me for sure, but "L.A. Woman" here, I just love the nice rocking riffing that's going on in it. I think the whole album has this great undertone of nice psychedelic and blues kind of blended together, and I think the Doors are kind of underappreciated for how they're able to bring those types of genres together. And what type of influence that had on people going forward. Very underrated. And I think this is their best album. I know a lot of people will argue about their debut album getting more love. I'll stick to my guns and say "L.A. Woman" is the better album. Number two for me, I think Rich may have been the one who chose this. I've got "Changes" by David Bowie.
Yep.
awesome.
I'm a big Bowie fan. I own at least 10, 11 of his albums. I've listened to at least more than that, at least 15 or 16 of the albums I've listened to. Just a consistent artist. This is a fantastic song. Nice orchestral type of feel to it, and got nice crescendo builds up and down, cadence to it. I really like it. I went with my third track. I went with a song that charted. I mean, the album was released in '70, but this song wasn't released until April of '71, I believe. Is "Sweet Jane" by the Velvet Underground.
Okay.
What a
Cool.
great song. For some reason, people are so big on the cover version by the Cowboy Junkies, and it doesn't. I'm like that. I didn't even know that it was a cover because it doesn't sound anything like what the Velvet Underground did. I thought it was just preposterous.
No way, man. Not in the same neighborhood.
So I'm like, what have they done? But it's a great song, though. Lou Reed. He's always bringing the jams, and I enjoy the song. Number four, I've had the song in 1970. I also have this cover version of the song in 1971. It's by Buffy St. Marie from her album "I Want to Be a Ballerina." Her cover of Neil Young's "Helpless." She's a Native American artist from Canada. Very, very big up there. I think from Sault Ste. Marie, I think is the area.
That's where it is.
Yeah, is it? Okay.
Yep.
Up in that area there. Fantastic cover. If you get a chance to listen to it, the first time I heard it, it was on the soundtrack of a movie, Hotel Artemis, with Jodie Foster and Dave Bautista, I believe, was in it, and Jeff Goldblum. Got to watch any movie with Jeff Goldblum. But I heard it and I'm like, wow, who's doing that version of the song? And I had to look it up, and it's great. I really like that version. Number five for me is another song from "Just As I Am" by Bill Withers. It's "Ain't No Sunshine."
Yeah.
Probably his most well-known song of all time. A little over 2 minutes. What I really like about it the most is that he starts with the chorus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And after he sings the first verse of the chorus, this nice big orchestration comes in, along and just plays along with his voice and carries us through the rest of the song. It's just absolutely beautiful. Whole album's beautiful. I've mentioned it before. You got to check it out. But I couldn't think of another song to end. Actually, when I put my albums together, I put the first song of side A and then I put the last song of side D. I have John Lennon's Imagine. I couldn't think of any other song that would be better suited to end my side D or my whole, double album collection from 71 than this song. It's a beautiful song. It's maybe the most highly associated, song that you would associate with him as a solo artist.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. I couldn't think of another song to end it with. That's what I got, you guys.
Love it.
Fantastic. Obviously, I like the spot. I like where you put Imagine, buddy. That's I couldn't pick a better spot myself.
Yeah.
But,
I wish I would have put it there. I had it in the middle somewhere, but I did include it. It's a must-have for that year.
Yeah, and I guess we have the. You had one. You had Sweet Jane, and I had that in 70. And you had it in 71.
Yeah.
Great one.
Very cool.
LA Woman too.
LA, yeah. It's a great tune too, man.
I love that.
I was pick one up with Riders, but I can see why.
Yeah. Very good.
The whole album's really good.
I had Ain't
Man,
No
that's
Sunshine.
kind of crazy.
Ain't No Sunshine was one of my honorable mentions.
Ain't No Sunshine is one of my honorable mentions.
Yep.
Changes is one of my honorable mentions. Oh, You Pretty Things is one of my honorable mentions. That's
I got, won't be fooled again. I mean, I couldn't believe I left that off, but I'm like, I just didn't know. I didn't know what to do, what to do in that case. And like you said, you could really put, Baba O'Reilly and won't be fooled again, and then you could just put and you could just say the rest of the album's 10 songs that are not by the Who.
Yeah, there you go.
Not even talk about them.
Even a great song like Behind Blue Eyes nobody had, or Bargain, another fantastic song.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say anything because I know everyone's had their own opinion and stuff. I think Getting in Tune's a fantastic tune.
Myself. Oh yeah, it is.
I love that song.
Can I throw some honorable mentions out while we're on?
Yeah, do that, please.
subject?
Yes.
I've got the title track of Aqualung, of course. Stay With Me by the Faces, which Doc had earlier.
Yep.
Cool.
Reason to Believe, Rod Stewart. Here's one nobody mentioned. I always love this song. How Can You Mend a Broken Heart by the Bee Gees. From that
Great tune.
Yeah. Just My Imagination, The Temptations. Love Her Madly and LA Woman from The Doors. Behind Blue Eyes, of course. Leave On. Uncle Albert, Admiral Halsey from McCartney. I always like that. Ain't No Sunshine. Vincent by Don McLean, about Vincent Van Gogh. Great song. Love the One You're With, Stephen Stills. I've Seen All Good People by Yes.
Yep.
Black Dog, Zeppelin. That's the Way I've Always Heard It Should Be, Carly Simon, one of my favorites from her. And One Toke Over the Line, a little Brewer and Shipley. I always like that song too. And I know it's not hip to like the Carpenters, but the Carpenters had some great songs in 71. And I just couldn't fit them into the album. But if you want to hear a pure, sweet voice, Karen Carpenter was it, man. Some of those songs, they're not hip, they're not cool, but easy listening, soft rock. I don't have anything specific. Rainy Days and Mondays, Superstar. She had a bunch of them.
Right.
Like you said, Rich, it's it's like all these other ones, right? I had What's Going On, I had You Pretty Things and Changes. There's everything from Zeppelin. I had the When the Levee Breaks, but I didn't have Stairway. I didn't have. I've Seen All Good People too. Was on my list. Obviously, Ain't No Sunshine was on my list. I had Uncle Albert. I had Signs written down as well.
Signs, yeah. There's another one. Yep.
Right.
I even had Dragging the Line.
5-man electrical band. Yeah, Dragging the Line. Yeah, there's so many.
I had the other 6 songs from Led Zeppelin 4.
Exactly. I could have said that.
The Case of You. I had Riders of the Storm. I got American Pie. I didn't have Stairway to Heaven. I didn't have Vincent, which, I just couldn't believe I actually didn't have that at all. And another one I didn't have, Doc, that I actually picked up from that Alice Cooper. I actually like Public Enemy No. 9.
Fantastic tune, man.
Alice Cooper. I was, but it definitely could not break into this top 24. Just no way. Shouldn't do it.
And another one I failed to read is Shaft, the theme of Shaft by Isaac.
Shaft, I had that written down too, by the way. Yes.
That was a big song when it came out. You know, it was all over the place. I think it won the Oscar won a Grammy, an Oscar. I mean, it was a huge song.
Right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for volume 2 of our Building the Perfect Album, 1971. Thanks again, Doc, for joining me down below there. And Rich, thank you again for joining us. Guys, we'll be releasing this video hopefully very soon, hopefully following the volume 1 as quickly as possible. And look for, go check out our other videos as well from 1965 all the way through to 1970 as well. Check those out. I'll try to put a link down below as well. And look for future videos. We're going to try to get these, at least put out a video a week, if not more, as much as we can do. And thank you for listening. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Take it easy.
Take care. See you guys.
Peace.